in Shenandoah National Park. This is Hawksbill Gap, mile marker 45. It's extremely windy, so I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Anyway, this is a parking area here, Skyline Drive. There's more parking over there. And most people are heading up that way, up to Hawksbill, but I'm going this way down into Timber Hollow. See if I can find the old road. The elevation here is 3375. A tenth of a mile into my hike, I'm down to a 3260 elevation, and here's the spring. I'll put this out on the map when I do the map talk, but the old trail is not much of a trail here. This looks like it might be the old road, this depression over here, right there. So I'm going to follow this on down the side of the mountain and see if I can eventually pick up on better looking road. But there's the spring, and look, it's flowing pretty darn good. Two-tenths of a mile into my hike, I'm down to 3170. I've been following what used to be an old road, I guess. It's turned itself into a stream. And then this is the crossing of the first feeder stream that's actually shown on the map. And there goes the feeder stream down the side of the mountain. And this is the road. It's really kind of hard to make out, but I'm just going to keep following it. We'll see where we end up. Half a mile into my hike, down to 2920 elevation. That's where I came from, down the old road. And I just stopped here because there's a little bit of there's a spring, an underground spring here. Maybe you can hear it. Right there, clean fresh water. So we're going to continue on down this way. Here's a little panorama of what Timber Hollow looks like. That's the road I'm coming down on. And down here's the hollow, or like we like to say in the South, the holler. Way up there is Hawksbill. That's up around 4,000, a little over 4,000 feet. Let's see, right now I'm at, I have to change my GPS. Right now I'm at 2,800. That's looking to the west. And then this is the road continuing on down the side of the mountain. 1.1 miles into my hike. I'm down to a 2480 elevation. There's the road I came down on. This is a steep road, steep terrain. Maybe you can see the slope of the hillside there. It's really steep. And right here, looking up that way, is I'm getting ready to cross over this would be the second crossing of the stream that you'll see on the topo map. Right here it's dry, but here it comes down and heads on down the side of the mountain. That's the second crossing you'll see on the topo map. So I'm going to continue on down. It's still quite a ways to the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way to the bottom or not. This is my first, let's call it strenuous hike for the year, and I'm still out of shape, so we'll see. We'll keep going. I have to be mindful of the fact that I got to get back up to the top. But let's keep going for a while. .3 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2330, and let's see, there's the road coming down, and I just stopped here to point this out. If somebody really wants to come down here and do a backcountry overnighter, right there is pretty flat. I got a feeling nobody's going to bother you way back in here, so I'll mark it on the map just for fun. But got to keep heading down this way and climbing over more blown down trees. .7 miles into my hike, I'm down at 2,000 feet elevation, and I may not go any further than this. Look how it's getting, the bushwhacking is getting harder and harder, and I've been doing it for 2 hours now, so I may stop here, but I'm gonna come over here because I noticed there's a hole in the fence here. Okay, and if you look over here, you can see that it's overgrown with the kind of stuff that comes up in a forest where it used to be cleared out. See how it's kind of cleared out here? And look at that right there. There's a chimney from an old house. I'm gonna go over here and see if I can get some pictures. So I'll mark this location on the map. So it's an old homestead right here in Timber Hollow. This is a little hard to see here, but looks like part of an old stacked stone fence right here, right next to the house. And then part of the wall of the house is back there. And then here's the chimney going up. It's still standing. I wonder who lived here. There's where the house is, or was, and then this is some stone they stacked up to sort of terrace off the yard there a little bit and flatten it out some. Then the wall comes down here, and over there a ways is some more stone fencing stacked up over there. .5 miles into my hike, I'm climbing the mountain. I'm up to 2350 elevation, and taking a break here. I set up my hammock and ate some food and let my knee heal itself a little bit. There's my day pack, trekking poles, and you can see it's a pretty steep terrain here. That's looking down into the holler down there. So I'm going to finish drinking some water, and then we'll head on back up the side of the mountain, back up there. I got another 1,000 feet to climb to get back up to my car. Oh man, I wish somebody would just come down and get me. Somebody come get me, man. Or maybe turn off gravity for a little while. That would be sweet. Three miles into my hike, I'm up to 2690. There's Hawksbill Summit again. I'm sitting on the side of the road here. I got all my stuff off. I'm resting up and getting ready for the final climb back up to Skyline Drive. Here's what it looks like. It's pretty. This is a pretty steep canyon here. It's looking down into the hollow. That's looking to the west. Here's where it came from, up the side of the mountain. So I'm gonna drink some more water and keep on going. Here's a view from 3,200 feet, almost to the top. That's looking to the west. 3.9 miles into my hike. I'm 3,280 feet. I'm back up to the spring. Here's what it looks like to the west. It's only about another 500 feet up to my car, up there where the blue sky is. So it's been a pretty strenuous hike, but it's a good one. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Big Meadows, 1994. And I hiked an abandoned trail in the park called Timber Hollow Trail. It's actually an old road that goes down the west side of the mountain. This red line here is Skyline Drive coming down from the north. And this hairpin bend here is the Hawksbill area. When you come, mile marker 45 is right there. So it's about mile marker maybe 45 and a half. You come around here and there's parking on both sides of the road. So just find a place. Now this is one of the busiest and most popular spots in the park. So during the week, there should be adequate parking. On the weekends, it gets to the point where people are parking, you know, around all the way on the side of the road around the bend here. But anyway, you park your car right here, and then you bear off to the right, and you go down 100 yards or so and cross the Appalachian Trail, and basically just keep going straight down the side of the mountain. And after a couple of more 100 yards, you'll see the spring. And then you basically just follow, there's a big like ditch here. And you basically, if you just follow that ditch on down this way, you'll eventually start to see that it's turning itself into the remains of a road. And then you basically just follow the road down the side of the mountain. Now, I didn't go all the way to the bottom. I got down as far as about here. And this area here, now you'll notice the contour lines down here are spread out a lot more than up here. See how they're closer together up here? So this is steep. But once you get down into here, it starts to flatten out. And when I got down here, I noticed it was kind of an open clearing down there. And I looked around, and darn if I didn't find an old homestead right about here. And to go any further, I would have had to do some even worse bushwhacking than I was doing to get down here to the park boundary. And I don't think there's anything down here really worth seeing anyway. So when I got to here, I got some pictures of the homestead, and then I turned around and came on back up. Now this is a pretty steep road, and it's been abandoned for many decades. It might have even, well, it was probably closed off in the 1930s when the park was formed, and they kicked everybody out of the park. Whoever lived here lost their home. The state of Virginia took all this land by eminent domain. So these people had to leave and move somewhere else. And the only thing left is some stone foundation and the stone chimney. The wooden part of the house was either torn down or burned down, one or the other. But anyway, so you can imagine this is one of the roads that used to come up the side of the mountain that the Park Service decided not to maintain. And so, you know, it's been abandoned for at least 80 years, I would say. So, I mean, it's in pretty bad shape, but you can still recognize that it's a road. And my suggestion, if you want to hike this, there's a lot of blown down trees, and there's a lot of leaves and other obstacles in your way. So it's kind of like bushwhacking your way down the side of the mountain. But if you enjoy that kind of stuff, and if you want to get down here and check out this old homestead, it's worth a hike. It ended up being, for me, it ended up being about 4 miles and about 1,400 feet of elevation. So nice bushwhack type hike. And that's the hike for today.